Black and White Network, one of the biggest scams of the past decade is BLM. Yes, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives March is also another name that I like to call them. It is a grift. A bunch of race hustlers out there raising money and pocketing the money for themselves. Now, guys, BLM corporate, they have their own problems. They have their own problems. They don't help any communities. They don't help their chapters out there. But Patrice Cullors, she can buy multi-million-dollar homes. This whole thing is a scam, folks. It's a scam. But you know what? The mainstream media, they enable all of this. They really, really do. Now, I'm not going to put all this blame on the mainstream media. I'm going to blame the people that take advantage of Black lives. And in this case, guys, it is no other than Black Lives Matter themselves. Now, in this case, I'm not talking about the global network. There's a whole bunch of fractions of BLM out there. In this case, I'm talking about a Boston BLM activist. Well, she and her husband are in trouble, folks. Boston social justice activist hubby charged with fraud and conspiracy in federal indictment. Oh, yes, you can see her right there, man. They care so much about Black lives, They do. But they're scamming Black lives. Check this out. A prominent social justice activist in Boston and her husband have been charged with using a $6,000 grant to take at-risk youth in a Philadelphia retreat on themselves for a getaway to Maryland, restaurant, shopping sprees, among other things. So $6,000 that was supposed to be used for at-risk youth, they used it on themselves. These people are evil, man. Completely evil and corrupt. Monica Cannon Grant, 41, founder of the nonprofit Violence in Boston, and her husband, Clark Grant, 38, were charged Tuesday in an 18 counts federal indictment, including charges for wire fraud and making false statements to a mortgage lending business. In June 2019, she was given a check for $6,000 for a trip to Philly to give these young men exposure to communities outside of the violence-riddled neighborhoods that they navigate daily, the Boston Globe reported. Instead, the couple used the money to take a vacation to Maryland, eat at Bubba Gump Shrimp Company, Shake Shack, and other eateries, and pay for car rentals, Walmart purchases, and visits to a nail salon, the feds allege. Now, what did these rich youth get? They got nothing, because these people right here, these BLM Marxists, stole the money. Stole the money that was supposed to be used on at-risk youth. Wow. The indictment charges them in connection with 3 separate schemes: defrauding donors, lying on a mortgage application, and illegally collecting about $100,000 in pandemic unemployment benefits, according to the Globe. Clark Grant had already been charged by the feds for allegedly engaging in pandemic assistant fraud after a raid at the couple's Taunton home last year, the news outlet reported. He was slapped with charges of illegally collecting unemployment benefits and making false statements on a mortgage application. Look at her, man. Out there shilling. This is nothing more than an act to get your money. That's all this is. On Tuesday, Cannon Grant was arrested at her home on charges the couple raised over $1 million in grants and donations for people in need, but took a significant amount of it for themselves, the Globe said. They allegedly used some of the money to pay rent on their Boston apartment and buy a car for a relative, officials said. When Violence in Boston was launched in 2017, it operated out of Cannon Grant's Roxbury home, but by 2020, the nonprofit had moved to a sprawling site in Hyde Park, according to the paper. It has amassed more than $50,000 in donations by April 2020, according to the feds. And look at this, man. These black people, no matter what you actually think of them, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, they're dead. And I believe that's Tamir Rice right there on the left. They're dead. And they're out there taking advantage of these dead black people. Regardless of what you think of these dead black people, they took advantage of other people to profit off of the death of these people. That is wrong. Prosecutors said that in October of 2020, Cannon Grant began paying herself $2,788 a week, though she had reported to the IRS and the state attorney general's charity division that she received no salary, according to the Globe. On Tuesday, a judge released Cannon Grant on a personal reconnaissance and told her she may continue to work her nonprofit, which runs a food pantry, but cannot handle its finances. So why even go back to running a nonprofit? It was nothing more than a money laundering scheme. Cannon Grant has proclaimed her innocence and declined to comment Tuesday outside the Boston federal courthouse. Her attorney, Robert Goldstein, said in a statement that, quote, "We are extremely disappointed the government rushed to judgment here. Violence in Boston and Monica have been fully cooperating, and their production of records remains ongoing. Drawing conclusions from an incomplete factual record does not represent the fair and fully informed process a citizen deserves from his government, especially someone like Monica, who has worked tirelessly on behalf of her community," he said. Well, she's definitely been fattening her pockets. I mean, stealing $6,000 from at-risk youth when that money was supposed to go to them so they can actually see a world outside of that crime-ridden area. She took advantage of them. This is pathetic, guys. This is really, really pathetic. And there's more stuff it goes on to. Of course, she has her supporters and things like that. But guys, the grift is strong with BLM. The grift is really, really strong with BLM. They take advantage of people. They take advantage of the emotions of people because they know that there is black people out there that will believe every single thing that the mainstream media tells them. If they hear that this black person died, they'll believe that, oh, the police killed him. You know, like the Michael Brown situation, which was a complete lie. The hands up, don't shoot thing. Yeah, BLM will jump all over that. Look what BLM's doing now. They're supporting Juicy Smouye, who staged a fake hate crime, and they believe him. Why? Because they're racially motivated. That's it. They can make money off of this stuff. The gullible, the weak-minded. That's the target audience for BLM. And it's just going to fatten their pockets while the weak-minded people remain poor and broke. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, this is sad, man. This is sad. Not surprising because the grift is strong with BLM. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.